What is up, guitar legends? Sam Wild here. We have somewhat of a challenge today because this is a very jazzy song, which means we have lots of different chords. Right, I have an electric today because I think it sounds nicer and it's easier on the wrist. You don't have to push in as hard. However, you can do it on acoustic. Okay, I actually figured everything out on the acoustic just to make sure that I know you guys can do it on the acoustic. Okay, you just have to have stronger wrist muscles, that's all, better stamina. Now, in terms of the structure, we pretty much have an A and a B section. Right, there's an intro and an outro that are very short, but apart from that, it's going to go A, B, and A, B, A. The only thing is there are slight variations on these sections every time, so we're just going to go through it section by section and take our time with this. Now, if you do want to play the intro, some of you might not even want to bother with this because it's mainly violins, but we have this, and then all the strings. So all I've done is a B flat minor 7 to A minor 7. Okay, you can do this like a bar chord, or you can do it kind of like this. Some of you may want to do it down here. Others may want to do it this way. There's several ways of playing this, okay? As long as you get the chords, it's fine. Then you have to wait for the strings to finish. Okay, and then you can kind of hear when it's ready for the next chord. Da, 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 da. Okay, so you have to listen out for the strings, and then we go into this C with G in the bass. And then we have F minor with A flat in the bass. Okay, and that's the intro, just one line. Okay, now you can just play this one strum and one strum, but I tend to do bass, everything, bass, and then pick through the bottom strings. Again, bass, bottom 4 strings, bass, and then pick the bottom 4 strings, right? Bass, strum, boom, 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 dum, dum. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Then we get to our verse part. Alright, on to our first A section. Remember, each A section is slightly different, so if you're playing along to the song, make sure you learn the variations with me here. Okay, but if it's just you and a guitar singing, you could get away with just playing this first variation that I'm about to show you here. So have a look at the tab. Some of you are going to need to pause the video on any chord that you don't really know and just look at the tab. Alright, but let's try and push through this at a decent pace. So we have C major 7, and then D minor 7, E minor 7, then F major 7, and then we go back again. Alright, now in terms of the timing here, we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and dun, dun. Okay, so F major 7, that 4th chord there, it is on the beat, but we're going to slide into it. You don't have to slide into it, but it sounds quite cool. That's what the song does. And then there's a sort of triplet effect, bum, 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 which brings us back to C major again. So one more time for the timing here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Alright, on to the second line. So again, we start on C major, we've just landed there. Then we're going to have C9 to A minor. Now, for C9, I like to go up to C7 here just for a variation. Then we get some movement. So I play like this. Okay, you don't have to do that second shape, you can just stay on C9. Because it's still functioning as a C7 chord at the end of the day. Then we have A minor, hopefully most of you know that one. B flat 7, okay, so that's the second line. On to our third line, we have C major 7, back to B flat 7 again, up to C major 7 again. Okay, so we've gone back and forth there a few times with the B flat 7, C major 7. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky because we're going to have a sort of a key change. There's a few key changes in this first variation. Okay, we're going to have G flat minor 7, B13. This takes us nicely into the other keys if we go up here. Alright, so go to fret 9 and just play your -7 shape here for G flat -7. And then we go to a B7 shape, which is the same thing, just upper string, fret 7, and you can add the pinky to here, so that's B string 9th fret. That is what makes it a 13, from a B7 to a B13, right? Because it's the 6th note, 13th note. And then we get to E major 7 here, on the final 4th line. So just that last bar on the 3rd line, C major 7, then. So you notice it's 1 strum each, guys. And then upper fret, we kind of go down just a semitone there. So F -7, which is fret 8, fret 6, B flat 13 to E flat major 7. So it's the same thing, but we've just gone down a key, right? And then to finish, D -7. Again, the same -7 shape that we're using a lot in this song. Then D flat 9. So just like our C9, but we have on fret 4 the bass note for D flat 9. And that takes us into the A section again. So let's just go through this whole A section together. You can keep rewinding this bit and play along with me a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows. Okay, then we go into another A section, which is pretty much the same, but there's just a few small variations. The whole first line is exactly the same, so that's good. The second line though, we've changed C9, and A minor to B flat 7. Okay, we're still kind of, the chords are similar, but now we have D -7, C9 E in the bass, A -7, and B flat 9. Alright, so D -7 we already know. Okay, it's just the normal -7 shape, fret 5. And C9, E in the bass. Okay, it's just like a C9 chord, but E is in the bass. Then we're going to go to A -7. You can play that down here, of course, but for the sake of getting to the B flat 9 chord easier, let's just play it here with open A string and first finger barred on the 5th fret for the D, G and B string. And then you've got the other 3 fingers, you can just get them ready for your B flat 9 chord there. So this is quite a tricky line. Again, you can just kind of do it like we did for the first A section, but if you're playing along to the song, this is what happens. Alright. Okay, now the third line, we start the same as the previous A section with C major 7, with their eyes all aglow. But this time, we're gonna have this really cool bass. So the bass line actually goes, which is really cool. Can you hear that within here? Find it hard to sleep tonight. Right, it's pretty awesome. And we used this turnaround a few times. Okay, so it might seem complicated, but I've made it a little bit easier for you guys, you'll see. For those of you that want to take your playing to the next level, make sure you sign up to my premium membership website. You'll gain access to all my backing tracks, all of my lessons, and I'll teach you how to improvise, solo, and play advanced chords. Enjoy the rest of your lesson, guys. So we start with a G flat minor 7, but if I were you, I would almost turn it into like a sus4 here by adding the pinky 12th fret on the B string, because that is the note that's being sung. All aglow. Right, so it just fits the vocals nicely. Then we go down 1 fret, and we get this, it's like an F9 shape, but we have a sharp 5 in there. Okay, so the best way to do that is just bar the 8th fret, play those middle 4 strings, and you just add the middle finger here to get the sharp 5. So that's on D string, 9th fret, the middle finger. And then for the last line to finish this turnaround, we have E minor 7, and then E flat 9 sharp 5. So it's the same shape I just showed you here, right, but it's just for E flat this time. Then D minor 9. Okay, so instead of D minor 7, the middle finger is off. Then D flat 9, which we've already looked at, and then C major 7 for a bar. Okay. So really spend some time working on this turnaround. Before you attempt to play this A section with me. Alright, second section A, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A turkey and some mistletoe helps to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all unclosed find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. Then we have this B section at last. And as you can see, it starts off fairly simple. Again, G minor 7, C9, F major 7. We've done that twice. You know the mother's child is gonna spy. We've already played that before. F minor 7, B flat 13, E flat major 7. Right? But let's just go back here a second. We had G minor 7. There's a few ways you can play this. If you want to make it easier, you can sort of do it like this. Just do a G minor, is fine. C9. Some of you might just want to play C7. That works too. And then F major 7. There's a few ways of doing this. I tend to have an open E at the top, which turns it into an F major 7. Some of you might want to do like an A minor with F in the bass. That is also an F major 7. But this is how I play it. And as you can see, we do that twice. Then we have F minor 7, fret 8, B flat 13, fret 6, and E flat major 7, just as we did in that first A section. And then we have see if reindeer really know how to fly. Okay, so there's some interesting chords here. If you listen really carefully to the song, you can hear this is what happens. We have this D sus4 shape. Some of you may have never played this before. You might have played it like this, but trust me, just play it over here, it'll fit better. To D7, so we just have one note change there. Alright, then we're gonna have A flat diminished 7, and then a G7 sharp 5 with a flat 9 on the very top. So you have to kind of bring the wrist and elbow up to hook the pinky down. Or some of you might want to do it this way. As long as you get those top 3 on the 4th fret there, you will get all the notes. Okay, but I try and add the flat 7 here with my second finger 2, and first finger's covering the bass. Okay, but pinky for me is covering the bottom 2 notes. And it suddenly goes brrrr. So you can just do a loud strum and then cut it off with the hand. To see if reindeer really know how to fly. Everybody knows. Okay, then we go into our third A section. Now for this third A section, it's very, very similar to the first one. Okay, it's kind of like a combination of the first A section and the second A section. Okay, so we start off exactly the same. All the A sections have this beginning part. And then if you remember, just like the first A section, we had C9, 7, A minor. Okay, so that is like the first A section. It's identical to the first A section. Then the second half is like the second A section. Many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. So we have that cool chromatic rundown there. And that's the third A section. So it is kind of the same. It's part of the first half is first A section, second half is second A section. So now we go into our second and final B section. Okay, as you can see, it starts the same, G minor 7, C9, F major 7, that happens twice. Okay, and then we also have okay, now for the final four chords, they are slightly different, however. This time we have D sus 4 and D7. The bass, actually it's an A flat in the bass, which is really dark. Okay, I don't really play that because it sounds better if a bass guitarist is playing it much lower. But it is there, in case you're curious as to why I've written that A flat in the bass. Then we have G7, you can just play a normal G7 here, and then A flat diminished 7. Now I like to add the pinky this time round to get that top note there, 4th fret on the E string. And you can hear the strings go la, da, 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 la, da, da. So if you want to do that, it's a bit of a challenge to get this melody in and then go to the chord, because your pinky is at the top there. Then you have your first finger, pinky, slide it along into C major shape. Alright. So the end of this solo section sounds like this. And that takes us into our final A section. So for this final A section, have a look at the tab. You can see it's pretty much the same again. We have that initial first line. Now watch out on the second line, there's this sort of A minor 6. The strings play like a... It just suddenly sounds more tense. It took me a while to figure out. I thought, why it's not an A minor, but it is. Because of that 6, it gives it a bit more depth, a bit more darkness. Okay, but then it's just B flat 7 as normal. So all we've done is replace A minor with an A minor 6. Okay, yes, you can play it down here, but it sounds a little bit weird there. If we play up here, it fits in a little bit better, in my opinion. Okay, B7. Now to finish, we're gonna do our chromatic rundown. But you have to follow Nat King Cole's voice, okay? So this is how he sings. He goes, though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry, and then you wait, Christmas, to G7 this time, instead of a D flat 9, it's just G7 to you. There's that really cool Jingle Bells thing at the end too. So just to clarify the ending, okay, let me just sing that one more time for you. Many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Okay, let's have a look at this cool little outro. Now, obviously, in the song, you've got some strings, piano, there's a bass playing the C, which means the guitarist can go. You can do it higher up, but if it's just you and guitar, I thought I would do it down here instead, so you can get the bass note as well. Okay, so you just get your C major shape ready. So have your pick on the bass note, and then the other three fingers can plug. Which means you can control how short and snappy they are. You can just use a pick, but then it just links together too much. So you can do it just a pick, but I like to plug so it's more bouncy. Right, so we're going to start with, we do everything at once, then the fingers, then everything at once again, dun, 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 like that. And you can see we do that twice in the first bar. Okay, so it's only that second bar that's the challenge here. So we have to move down to get those high strings. Dun, dun. And then the pinky has to move up a string. So we go dun, dun, dun. Pinky has to move up. So it starts down, like that. Then slide down 2 frets. So still that major 7 shape, but it's here now. To get the D minor 7, and then back up again for the whole chord. So dun, 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 dun. So all together. Alright guys, that is everything. Alright, I know that was a lot to take in. The play along is coming up, so you can play along to the song with me. Alright, if you struggle with any part, you just have to pause the video and just work on it as slowly as you need to go. Especially these crazy turnaround parts, right? Now I spend so much time working out the correct, exact chords. Okay, because there are so many incorrect chord lessons out there for this song. And when you try and play along to it, it just sounds awful. Right, if you want to play along to the song, you do need a capo. You just put it on fret 1 and you just move everything up 1 fret. Alright, but I know some of you don't have capo, so I took it down 1 key so you can play along with me in a second here, just as I've shown you for this whole lesson. So if you found this lesson helpful, please give it a like, make sure you subscribe. Alright, good luck with the play along. I will see you in the next lesson, guys.